All right, guys, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Of course, I am going to be painting, as you can see, koi fish patterns on 5 swim baits. The actual pattern that I am following or freestyling from is this picture here. I'm mixing and matching from each of them, which they all are a little different, and I like the uniqueness of each one. So we're gonna start, of course. We pre-started yesterday, and this one I'm just going to add some dark orange with a little bit of red in the face and call it that. But before I do so, I need to finish coloring, cleaning out this airbrush, and also kind of giving people time to jump in if they want to jump in. I noticed that more people tend to look at this kind of stuff during the day versus at night because it's kind of loud. So these past few lives, I've just been trying to figure out when is it the best time to post or go live. And it looks like going live during the day is better than at night because these are pretty loud. I will start by saying I appreciate you all for watching, especially if you are watching after the live is over. The first few minutes is just me cleaning and prepping to get started on airbrushing. So this also gives people time to come in. All right. I'm going to get started. Can you guys hear me? Someone give me a thumbs up or someone make a comment or anything to make sure that I'm good, or I can go and turn on my TV real quick and check. All right. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. We are gonna continue with this one here. And do some dark orange along the gill plate area. How are you? Right along there, just to give it that two-tone texture look, I guess you would call it. Oh my goodness. Hold up. This brush right here isn't clean. I thought it was clean, and it's dripping stuff out of it. Okay. One second, my brush is actually sticking. All right, I think we should be good to go. I'm going to be using a dark orange with a little bit of gold and a little bit of red mixed into it to give it the low tones and detail. I'm actually going to put a drop of red in this cap to make it all right. And because this airbrush here tip doesn't have a going good, going good, going good, going good. I appreciate your comments. All right, so what I did is I put a drop of red over in this cap of orange. This is a dark orange mixed with gold. That cap, that little drip of red mixed in. Hold on here real quick because I noticed a few things before we start. Let me turn down these PSIs. I usually turn the PSIs way up when I'm cleaning the brush, around 60. But now that the brush is cleaned out and I'm spraying, we're going to cut down to 30, between 15 and 30. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to take the tip of this airbrush and put it against this Q-tip and then press down to make these two colors mix in the cap. And it's bubbling up. There it is, coming to the top. Giving myself a good mix. I'm going to spray the excess orange off first. There is the red orange mix that I'm looking for. I may have to turn this up just because of how heavy the actual paint is on this. All right. Just giving a face. This thing is heavy. This Lord is heavy and falling all over the place. Hold on. All right. So I'm just giving the face a little bit of detail. And I may do some spots of red on the body, on the top, just to give it a little more life. And I'm going to take and use my scale pattern and kind of go down the top, just spotting it. 1 second. I'll read the comments in a split second. All right, nothing too crazy. In this fish case, there isn't any black on it. I don't know if I want to add black or not, or leave it like that. Not 1,000% sure, but I do want to notice something on the front there that I might do. Y'all think that's too dark in the face? They are for personal use, for sale, and I also do an event. The real reason why I'm spraying right now is because the event's coming up, and I do a giveaway there for the youth and for the actual event for the people like that comes to the event as well. My name, my Facebook, the YouTube name.com will lead you to the website of everything that I have been spraying. They're not on there yet. There is some stuff on there from earlier this year. The stuff that's being posted right now will be on there shortly, probably sometime between I want to say between the 27th and January the 7th for sure, because then I'll have an inventory of how I want everything laid out. All right, so one last thing I need to do is create a new color, and the new color is like a fleshy pink look. For an example, on the tail, and it's usually on the fins of these style koi fish, depending on which one you're looking at. It's not a true white. It has like a pinkish look. So what I'm gonna do to make that color is brownish green, a white, red, and a small hint of purple to create that color. Yeah, so my name, it must be the bait.com, basically. An empty bottle with some stainless steel beads to keep the actual paint from going bad. And we're gonna build this color, kind of freestyling it to see if I can get the right pink that I want. What the brown does is, did I shake this? Or does it need to be shaken? Let's see. Doesn't say, but I'm gonna shake it anyway, just to be on the safe side, because it looked like it came out kind of watery. And I'm gonna pour that back in there real quick, just to even that out, at least some of it. Hopefully them beads don't roll out of there. Yeah, because that is like water. All right. Shake that back up, put that back in there, and then we'll restart. All right, so the primary color is definitely going to be white. So you want that to be what you put the most in, and let the rest be like your building colors. So what I mean by build colors is I'm gonna do like 5 drops of red. Nope, because that red's really bold. We're just gonna go with 3 and see how pink that becomes. That might be a little too pink, so I might have to add more white. All right, so looking at that, if I can get it to that color and not that color, we'll be good. So I am gonna add just a little more white to dilute that red. The red's a little messy. I should have grabbed a paper towel before I sit down, because it is kind of getting everywhere. Split second, because I need to grab a paper towel and I don't want this to get everywhere. All right, I am back. Yeah, so the thing about the tail, I'm not 1,000% sure if I want to color the tail itself, just because the way they're made. I can probably get away with some dye, and the dye colors I have is yellow, blue, and red. The tail will be transparent. The clear coat doesn't work too well on the tail because the tail is kind of flimsy. And then if it's not coated correctly, there we go. We're getting the color there now. We're getting that color. Now, the brown and purple is to make the pink look more flesh-like versus just solid pink. This is a good color for trout fins as well, depending on how old the actual trout is and which trout you're painting. And I'm gonna do this 1 drip at a time, because I don't want it to get too dark. All right, we're gonna see what this 1 drip does. I think I can get away with another drip of pink. I mean brown in this. I'm gonna go to. All right. All right, there we go. We got more of a fleshy pink look for that fin. And then the purple blue I'm adding is to give it a reflective look, so that the actual fin doesn't have a muted color. I am making a koi fish swim bait. One drop. I'm gonna go a few drops of this purple. 2, 3, 4. Because this purple is not that heavy. It's really, really light. All right, so I got the flesh tone look that I wanted. And I'm literally just gonna slide it or paint it onto that one fin. And probably on the back end of the tail that's not there, just to give it a bit of a look. Now, depending on how heavy this is, which it shouldn't be that heavy, it should be good to spray out of this F brush. Hopefully this F brush isn't acting up today. I cleaned it last night. Versus coming on live, I cleaned the brushes out just to make sure that they would run smoothly. Okay. Also, from the looks of it, the fin itself isn't transparent. It's got like a white base to it. So I'm gonna hit the fin with a white first to kill those scale patterns. All right. I don't have an actual fin that's shaped. So basically I just made the fin stand out more. I'm gonna hit this other side as well. All right, I'm gonna heat set that just to make sure it's good and won't rub off. How are you, Brian? All right, so next step is that pink. It is really watered down, but I think this airbrush had water left over that I didn't catch, so all right. So being that the water that is really watered down, what I do is I like to heat up the actual lure itself. So this is going to be on a high setting. And then just spray it, because what it does, being that it's hot, the actual paint itself, when it hits the lure, it won't run like water. So just a good example, it's watery here on the actual stencil. I don't know if you guys can see it or not. Yeah, I kind of can see it, but it's watery on there. But because I heated up the lure itself, that pinkish flesh is more of a fade coming off the white. And then what I'm going to do is just take no stencil and free spray a dot. You know what? I think I'm not going to free spray a dot. I'm going to fade it. Alright, was just making a scale pattern for the just right above the actual fin to make it stand out. And I think because of how dark that red came out, I think I'm going to go a little bit darker on the body with that red, just so it stands out as well. All right, now we're gonna hit this side with the flesh pink and that red. Ooh. Oh, I almost messed up. I need to heat the lure up before spraying that watered down paint. This is just to keep the paint from running, especially when you're below the consistency of milk. This thing. Dried up on the tip. All right, hopefully this is still hot. We're about to find out. Okay, yeah, we're good. We are good. We are good. All right, I'm gonna do that to this side. I faded it on this side and I didn't on this side, so I want it to fade equally. So other side I did it in a dot form, but I'm gonna do a fade. The fade looks a little better. All right. And then I'm gonna take and put a little bit of red. Man, these lures are heavy and just want to fall over. All right. This one is technically done for building up the koi fish. The only thing that I would do when I am completely ready for all of them is underspray the belly to make sure that it's evenly, perfectly white. So right now it's kind of spotty and dotty. And before I put it to the side, I just want to check the eye size. And I didn't check it when I first started. Because the eye looks huge. I could get away with a 9mm. 10 would probably be better. You're welcome. What's going on? You're on your lunch break. All right, so that works. I'm gonna call that good, and Guess put the eye on the other side. I'm gonna glue this one down, actually. No jokesters today. No jokesters today. Yesterday, boy, they were out in groups going around terrorizing. What lures can you recommend me as a beginner? What species of fish are you targeting? If you're targeting bass, my go-to lure that I check the pond with, lakes and sometimes rivers, would be a lizard. The Zoom lizard. You cannot go wrong with a Zoom lizard. You can Texas rig it. I prefer the free rig. What I mean by that is just taking a weedless style hook and running it through his head and having a hook come out of his body, cast it out and let it fall, count to like 15 and snatch it as fast as you can or as hard as you can, and then stop, because what that does is creates the look of those underwater salamanders running away, and bass tend to pick those up more than anything else I've ever thrown in my entire life. That is what I check the pond for if I've never been. All right. Okay. Here we have the start of a second one. The base coat is white. I did silver on the head just to make it stand out more. Once the color goes over top of it, it'll give it a little bit more of a reflective look. In fact, I have two like that. And what I need to do is make sure that that base coat is really caked on. Not over caked on, just because of the metal mesh, it will literally take it off. Alrighty, man. Have an easy day. Don't overwork yourself. What I'm doing now is just closing up the holes. This was just a fast base coat the first time because I was just trying to run the white itself out of the cap. But now that I am kind of doing the base coat for the lure. Spraying it on there just a little more heavier. And while I'm at it, I might as well go ahead and hit the underbelly of this thing. As the final step. All right, that's the bottom there. That is this one complete. I am airbrushing swim baits, and I haven't looked into any UV paints. I'm pretty sure there is. Probably could just go on Amazon and type in UV airbrush paint. Now the thing is, I don't know how heavy the actual ink is itself. Now, when you say UV, are we meaning like where you can put it in the sun and then it glows, or it needs to be under like a black light? Because I do have glow in the dark UV paint. Requires being put under a black light. I don't know if you can see that, but that is UV based. So to answer your question, I guess you could say yeah. If we're talking about the same thing, where you know how you take some lures and you like kind of put them in direct sunlight or something like that. I have made a few of those. A little more tedious to do. Oh yeah. I was told. Now this wasn't me. And it all, I guess it depends on what fish we're talking about. Um, Hold on one second. I'm gonna heat this up. I was told that bass do not like UV lures. No glow in the dark stuff, any of that type of stuff. They prefer uh, other things versus UV. It kind of spooks them away. And a lot of people, for instance, when fishing for bass at night, do not use glow in the dark stuff. They use close to a silhouette. So either browns and blacks with a few flakes in it, and that is about it. Now, if we're talking walleye, crappie, and stuff of that nature, oh, they like UV related stuff. I might have to turn this up because it is not spraying it how I want. There we go. I myself, if I was gonna throw this, I'm gonna say the bigger, meaner fish, muskie, pike, pickerel, some of the larger bass. Um, those would probably be the ones that would grab this before anything else. I've heard people use lures this big to target smallmouth, which I am still trying to wrap my head around. I've been this past season. I have thrown it for a little bit, and I've had more success with a cylinder style swim bait versus something big like this. I've missed some on something this big, but that's a miss, and I mean like 3 times in a row he came at that, and I just couldn't set the hook on him with something this big. All right, so I have some white left over. Man, these staggone lures, man, they gotta be about 2 ounces easily, because they are pulling this thing around. All right, so I have some white left over, so I'm gonna go ahead and base coat this bad boy with the white. And since they are koi fish, there will be no black base coat, because actually looking at this one, I might throw some black in it. A lake trout would hit something this big? I've seen people fish for lake trout. I've seen them pretty big. I just couldn't imagine a lake trout wanting something like this. All right, so what I did just now is I actually made the lure hot so that when I spray this on there, it sticks and it don't run. And it actually holds better. The base coat goes on solid. Prime example. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna spray this side without heating it, and I'll let you guys see how the water and stuff doesn't the actual paint itself doesn't look nearly as good as the other side. I don't know if you guys can actually see that. Oh, okay. Jeez. For a lake trout. I don't know anything about that fish. You got me on that one. What I'm gonna do real quick is put some more ink in this, paint in this cap. Keep calling it ink because I have two that needs to be base coated. All right, I'm gonna heat set this. We'll make it hot at least. All right, gotcha. And because I didn't heat the top, you see that line in the middle? The paint itself is running, so I have to heat the lure up because I have to heat it up just because that paint itself is not heavy or as thick as, or the, I guess the density of milk. So to just make sure. There's a fifth one around here somewhere. There it is. I was gonna say it's always right in my face and don't even realize it. All right, what I'm gonna do is I'm not gonna. Dang on. I'm not going to bake base coat this last one completely, just for time management reasons. I'm just gonna run that white out of that. No, I'm not using this one. Not for something this heavy. I'm just gonna run the white out of that cap, and once that's out of there, this is just be put to the side. All right, put this to the side. I'm gonna clean this brush out just to put the chrome in there. The chrome is the reflectiveness in the scales. I did last night while cleaning these airbrush and going over the mess pile of stencils I had. I came across some rainbow colored style scale patterns that I had, and I'm like, I might use those, but not on these, probably on something smaller. All right, there we go. I'm gonna spray this out, put some chrome in it. I am painting some swim baits in a koi fish pattern to kind of come out looking like these. Right now I'm just cleaning the airbrush up because I base coated a set. And that had some run back up. I must have aimed the airbrush up without realizing it. All right. So before I go to the next step, I am, before I go to the chrome, I am going to take and spray just a little bit of black in some spots before putting the chrome down, because I noticed on some of them the black is underneath the scale pattern over top. So nothing crazy, just a few spots. These spots I'm kind of just freehanding or faking on there until I run out. Appreciate it. Here's a one without any black in it, so kind of the one that's on top. All right, so now that we got the black spots, I don't know if I want to do it to two of them or not. I think I'm going to just work with just this one. Okay, so the next step is the chrome, the entire body inside my scale pattern. Actually, what I need to do is I need to heat set this real quick because that black needs to be dry. All right, locking these in. I'm not pinching it nearly as hard on the bottom, mainly because I want the scale pattern to fade from the top down, so the top is going to be a lot tighter. So if the chrome does run down at the bottom, that's cool. All righty. We have locked this bad boy into place. I need to find a better chrome too. I've been using this for a really long time, and I'm pretty sure now they come out with something better. The top looks great, like you can see the reflectiveness in it. The bottom, not so much. But you know the rules, don't fix something that's not broken. And it's been working all these years, so I'm kind of scared to start trying to find another chrome. It was the talk of the airbrush fishing world for the longest, how to get a chrome. And then somebody just decided to use chrome tape, which that's probably the best route. But to get a chrome tape scale pattern, I haven't really did any research. All right. Also with the chrome, I'm going to turn down the PSIs just because of this being like water. This is literally, you're spraying water. So if you have it turned up too high, it's going to run. You can even heat up the lure itself and it still would run. I'm spraying roughly around 2 to 3 inches away. Those black spots look like they're gone for the most part, but what I did is went over it, and when I peel it off, you'll have black scales just there. And I put way too much chrome in that cup, so I am gonna wrap that other one. Turn up. What did I say? Did I start something and didn't finish it? Because I'm pretty well known for doing that. All right, so remember the black spots. Let's see if this did it correctly. Should have. I don't think I oversprayed. I'm gonna look first before I show y'all. Oh no, nah, it worked. It's very faint, but it's kind of hard to see those black lines behind the chrome just because of the double diamond shape that already has built into it. So what I'm gonna do on this second one so that it shows up a lot better, I'm gonna put those black dots and stuff more so around the bottom versus the top. Also, what I'll do real quick, because I did put too much chrome in this cap, I'm gonna hit the head of this one. Put it off to the side. I'm gonna put some black on that other one real quick just because the fact that chrome, I need to use that up. I don't like letting that stuff go to waste. That bottle's kind of hard to get at a good price. All right, so here we have it, just some random black spots. Doesn't matter where you stick them. I'm looking for my rinse bottle. Okay. Because I'm not going to go back to the black just yet. I don't think, actually not in today's live anyway. I'm going to put some rinse over in there. All right, I'm going to heat set this real quick. All right. So those black spots are going to create an under shade for the scales in those spots. You could also kind of get away with this same technique on bluegill if you want, perch, depending on how hard you want the lateral lines to look. I would do it with bass as well. Any fish that has a lateral line that you want it to not be nearly as hard or visible, but want it to still show, you could put it down as a secondary layer or base coat to create that more natural lateral line look. All right, we got this locked into place. We're gonna hit this whole thing with the chrome. All right, so I'm almost out of chrome, which is a good thing. I am gonna low heat set this and do it from a distance so I don't push that around. I am using a metal mesh style thing. I don't recommend it. And the reason why I don't, because it's metal and it will take the paint off if used incorrectly. It's a kind of a one of them things where it's a learning curve basically. No, that's way too hot. I have two heat guns, and that will melt resin in some cases, especially if you leave it there too long, and in some cases will make the paint bubble. I wish I had some lures here that I could show you where it actually happened to, especially when it comes to some of these colors that have there's something in it. And I want to say there's acetone. Yeah, there is acetone. And other additives that's in this versus your standard Create Text paint, which is more water-based. So that heat, that kind of heat is no good for something this small. Yeah, I had to put the heat gun away, man. All right, so here's a better example of the chrome on the black. I'm pretty sure the phone's gonna pick it up better than my eyes will. So you can see those black spots, but they're not as bold. And then it makes it kind of semi-stand out when you go to do your other colors over top of it. All right, so now that we have that, what I actually should do is, you know what? I got a little bit of chrome left. I'm not gonna waste it. I'm gonna spray the head of this. All right. I should have actually just kept the scale pattern on, because the next steps, no, I won't. I am going to take and just freehand some orange in different spots. Nope, I'm lying to you guys. I'm not gonna freehand orange. We are gonna go with the gold. I want the gold to be really bold, so this is gonna take a couple of layers to do right. All right, I'm just pre-cleaning these brushes real quick, because the black and then that flesh pink definitely won't spray out correctly with the gold. Thanks. No, I am not molding these. I don't have that kind of time. I got these from somebody off of Facebook. He was selling 15 of them, and I bought 5 just to try out. Now, to go back to the scale pattern thing, there is a company now that's selling that diamond shape in a soft, sticky, rubbery style. I forgot the name of the material. A guy told me the name of it, and I bought it like years ago to try. I myself personally don't like it. But a lot of people live by it. And I have some, and I'll show you what it looks like. In this, all right, perfect example. This stuff here, I tried it. It's supposed to stick to the body. That's an actual real scale. So you could take that route. I mean, there's so many routes for the scale pattern. I just like that metal mesh because I can mold it to the body and kind of do a bunch of them at once. And this stuff isn't that expensive. It just requires you just to pay a lot of attention, or you're going to be knocking nicks into your paint job. And then another thing for me, I want the swim bait to look a little more realistic without putting a water decal on it. So those little nicks, I'll use those to my advantage. All right, so now I am going to put gold down over the body. Not the entire body, just the areas that I want to lay the orange over top of. And in this case, this is some must not be a lot in this bottle at all. And this bottle's really stiff. All right. This is pretty watered down, but because it's flaky, I'm gonna make the lure hot itself so that the paint stays in place versus running. Okay. That's good. This is going to require a couple of runs because I want the gold to be really dark. So that'll be the first run, and then I'm going to heat set it. And then I'm going to spray it again, probably 3 times just to make the gold really stand out underneath. But I'm going to also put a little gold in the face because I'm kind of basing it off of this picture. I'm flooding it on purpose. I'm getting an overspray, and the overspray is fine. Like in the face and stuff. It can be. But of course, with any job, once you do it enough, it becomes a little tedious and overwhelming. All right, one more spray. Really make sure that it's in there. Yeah, it's peaceful until it becomes one of them things where people are hitting you. Hey, I need 13 of these, and I need them in like 4 days, and I'm just like, what? So what I've actually did is I've stopped accepting full-on custom pieces per se, and whatever I spray is what will be sold, unless the person has one of those ordeals where they're like, hey, can you do this? And I'm not in a rush. Just don't make it take forever. Then I can manage with those guys. But I have some people, man, they'll be like, hey, how many of these can you do? Or send me 30 different lures and paint them 30 different ways. And the deadline. Deadlines are the thing that kills the fun in it. I'm not saying be a procrastinator or anything, but don't overwork yourself, or it's not going to come out nice. All right, so I'm just sealing this back up real quick because I want to show you guys the one side. I think that's enough. I don't know where. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. I don't remember turning my back and sitting that down like that, but all right, so what I'm going to do is put this over it, of course, and then I'm gonna hit those areas with that's gold with orange. And I'm gonna use true orange versus the red orange that I was using in the beginning. Actually, what I should do, nope, I'll do true orange versus red. Let me just get this out of here. All right, we're gonna go with a true orange. Okay. Why I say true orange, that one's literally orange. And this one here looks like it, but it's a little bit darker. And over the gold, it should actually spray and come out pretty nicely. I'm just adjusting my needle so that I can get a better spray when it comes out. What I'm going to do just to play it safe, I am going to warm the lure up itself. I'm going to heat set that. All right, because we are freestyling, and this is my first time actually doing or second koi fish, we're gonna see how that orange laid over top of that gold. Let's see if I got the scales to be light underneath and dark on the top. We did it. It's probably hard to see just because of that double diamond shaped pattern that's already built into the lures. You know, those are the two brushes that I've tried before. I won't say I don't like them. I definitely want an water, but every time I get ready to purchase one, it just kind of like slips my mind. It will be one of my purchases down the road. And I've seen that other one. They use a different bottom piece attachment, I think, is a lot thicker to attach to it, which now I'm looking at it, this here can do that as well. I just got to look for the required parts. Skin mounts, I've never heard of it. So I want these from the looks of it, I'm gonna say no. In some instances, and in some of the fish itself, there's hard stop lines. I don't personally like the hard stop lines, but I'm gonna cheat just a little to mimic the look in one of the faces. Here I have a pre-cut of the hard lines that I mean. So I'm gonna do that in the face. It's something that I personally don't like the look of, but these koi fish have it, so I'm gonna do it. That doesn't look bad. Actually, doesn't look bad at all. Looks more koi fish now than the other one does. Let me go back and look at this other one and do a comparison real quick. Top or bottom, which one looks better, face-wise? Same to you. Top, right? Yeah, I like the way those hard lines are in there. At first, I wasn't too hard pressed on those hard lines, but that hard line stop and go points actually look pretty good versus fading out completely. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hard line in the face how that one is, and then I'm going to I guess do the rest with different types of hard lines in the face. That does look better because I'm basing it off this picture of the 4 different koi and just mixing and matching. That top one is comparably close to this one up top. but I like the hard lines in the face on that one that's in the front. So yeah, the hard lines look better. That top one was cool, but I like the hard lines better too. So that's the route I'm gonna take. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hit this. Yeah, that looks way better. The fish itself looks better. Yeah. Yep. That's going to be the route that I'm going to take, guys. I hate to break it to you. Ooh, I got a lot of colors out. I'm going to actually, before I call it, use this gold up. I'm just laying down my gold spots to overlap the orange on top for this one. And then, which we're not going to do today, or what I'm not going to do today, is do the orange over it. But I have an idea in my head now, just from this them hard lines. try to finish off this gold. My bad, I had to do that off screen. Okay. I was about to say, dang, just knocked a hole in them. All right. He's lying. I'm totally doing this for the money. These things are going to be $700 each. No, I'm joking. um, I have an upcoming event, an expo that I sell lures at, and I have a website that I sell them on, and I also do a giveaway at the actual expo for the kids, the youth, anybody that's under 16. That's part of a fishing club. I put a box set of about $100 worth into a box for them to raffle off. No. I actually got these off of someone. They made them. I ordered them from them. Here's this really small guy that from a company called Era. And this little bad boy, unpainted, is $40. If you want to talk about beating someone and stealing lure blanks and all of that, but that is his 100% custom lure. $40 untouched. Now he does do some. He does a few with a little bit of painting to him. I think he sells those for around the same price. But the reason why that one there is black and sitting there, that is for a customer who is in no rush because we are basically under ice. It's 30 degrees outside right now. And he's not going to fish it, so I'm going to mix it in there with the next batch that I'm going to do. All right. I am liking that so far in comparison to the other one. Other one's not bad. I just like those broken lines in it. So I'll stick with that concept. Okay, all right, I was gonna say I don't lost the stencil that quick. I'm gonna lay it here so I don't lose it. So I do have some ideas. Well, guys, I am I won't say that I'm behind on time, but I do need to get ready to roll. So I will catch you in the next live. It probably won't be, what's tomorrow? Friday? Maybe tomorrow. I'm not 1,000% sure. It will probably be around this time in the morning. I won't be here Friday evening, and there is a really low chance on Saturday because Saturday I have a big tattoo to do, and on Friday night, a big tattoo as well. I might go live, but it won't be anything related to fishing. So, until next time, if you've been here before, you know what I'm going to say. Whole bunch of yakety smackety. Subscribe and share and appreciate the comments and the diamonds or whatever you call those things over there. And until next time, if this thing sprays correctly, peace out.